Hi, everyone. Seth Screamo here again with the Best of Wooster Podcast. And today I am at Whit's End. We're going to learn a little bit about what they have going on. I got some lovely ladies around the mic today. Why don't we go from the right and then head to the left and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Sandy Klein. I'm the co-founder of Wits End Community Place, and I also am a bid contract employee at PRC Saltillo.
I'm Krista Asher. I am the director of Woods End Community Place, and I'm also a social worker by trade and the manager of the care management department at Worcester Community Hospital.
And I'm Kathy Ballinger Brown. I am the other co-founder of Wits End. And I am a foster care marketer for the Village Network by day, and I sing in a couple bands at night.
Awesome. Cool. Well, what's your favorite song to sing?
Okay, I'm going to date myself, but one of my favorite, actually, I have two right now. Angel of the Morning by Juice Newton. That goes way back. Most people don't even know who Juice Newton is, but it's a kind of a country. And then Lady Gaga, Always Remember Us This Way. Love that song.
Yeah, no. So for anyone that's meeting you all for the first time, can you tell us a little bit about what is Wits End Community?
I'll start with that. What we do is we support people emotionally with practical education and that we have a caring community here for people with cancer or caregivers or loved ones. So, we offer free services here for those that need us. We don't want anyone walking alone.
Now, I imagine being in this organization, you have to have some tie to it. Something must have happened. And, be as open as you want, but can you tell us why you're here?
Sure, I'll start. We all have our reasons. My daughter, Whitney, was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer at the age of 25 and 26 years old in 2012. And we sought this same kind of service in Cleveland, Ohio. And so during that time, it's a lonely time. I found great strength and felt energized after I would go to a caregiver support group in Cleveland. And so it was after her death that I had to make purpose of that journey that I thought, why can't we have that here in Wayne County?
So mine is also personal. I may have a tear. It's been 10 years, 2 days ago that Jeff passed. That's my husband, father of my two wonderful kids. They're 25 and 22 now. So they were 15 and 12. Awesome kids. And so Sandy was a huge support all the way through. Sandy and I grew up in the same small community. I went to the same church. I always looked up to her. She was a little bit of a troublemaker, but I loved her.
Still is.
She was in my oldest brother or my second oldest brother's class. She just was always like, everybody wanted to be like Sandy Yoder. And she was such a help when Jeff was so sick, and she reached out and really coached us through a lot of things. But in April of 2015, my class had gotten together and did a very big fundraiser for us, and I knew I wanted to give back. I had no idea. I didn't even know what a nonprofit was. I literally meant that, like, I thought it meant you never got paid or never. I didn't know what it was, but I knew I wanted to do something. And I was texting with one of my classmates who has been a board member with us. And I said, I want to do something. I want to give back. I said, I don't know what though. And she says, you know who you need to get a hold of is Sandy Klein. I about dropped the phone because literally that night she had been on my mind. God, I kept praying about it. God kept putting her there. I tell her, I said, I promise, I really am not thinking about you at 1 o'clock in the morning, but your name was, you kept coming to my mind. And at this point, Jeff was still alive. So I got a hold of her and I said, I don't know what we're going to do. I said, but I want to do something. I'm thinking maybe like financial, because, that's what helped us. And she says, nope. And this is Sandy. She goes, nope. She goes, this is what we're going to do. She says, I want you to go up to either the Gathering Place in Cleveland or up into Akron, which is where we ended up going, to Stewart's Caring Place. She says, check that out. She says, we need something like that. It's a gap in services here in Wayne County. And so that's what I did. I went up and I would go do yoga because it just was my way of getting away and recharging myself. Jeff went with me a couple times, but it was just a very peaceful, and she was right. We needed that. And that's how that started.
Yeah, I think it's very important to, if you see a need and you can feel it. When did you both realize those deeply personal experiences need to be shared to help?
I can tell you that it was a couple years after Whitney had died. We were walking and talking about what am I going to do? I mean, I'm throwing ideas at the wall, right? And I said it to her. And then I called up some very instrumental people in my life, Margot Braille and Joe Durbin, who had been bothering me for a couple years. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? We'll help you. We'll help you. And they just made it happen.
So, how did Wits and Community Place begin? And what were those early days when you were just running, two small support groups? What were they like?
We actually kicked off in, I think it was January of 17 with a educational event, and it was big. We had
Filled that auditorium.
we did. And Paul spoke, right?
Dr. May,
Yeah,
she was
spoke.
speaking, and Dr. May about it.
Yeah, she spoke.
And we had that Becky
Brown,
Becky
Becky
Brown.
Bylaws Brown.
Yeah. We had some really big speakers to
Yeah.
kick us off before those
Yes,
groups started. But we,
started with just one group at first.
yeah, and then and then we grew to two, but it was fast, like 2 or 3 months of one group, and then we went to
Realized-
three, or
Yeah.
two. But I'll tell you how'd it go is everybody wanted to volunteer, but we learned fast through the gathering place that you don't get volunteers. You have to pay them. They're professionals,
Right.
and you're paying for professional services. And I'll tell you, there's some really instrumental people like Joe Durbin who helped with the money to pay these people before we got some funds rolling in.
So, for listeners who may not know, what is Wits End? What's your guys' mission?
This is going to say it.
Um, mission of the organization is to provide supportive and compassionate care in community through services offered free of charge to anyone touched by cancer.
Now, I imagine starting, what were some of the challenges at the beginning and how did you guys overcome them?
I think that the biggest challenge was brand awareness that we're here, right? I mean, everybody would say that when they start a business, but so we would speak to local churches, local groups around town.
We did events.
We had held
Good fun.
educational
Yeah.
events.
Well, and we went to like 5Ks and even like for life. We had a booth there.
Yeah, we
We
would.
did a couple different.
We set up booths to
Yeah.
be at community
Right.
events so that we could get our name out there.
Now, you guys planted the seed growing from two small groups into a full community space. Can you walk us through the range of services you guys provide now?
Okay, so we have 2 group therapies right now, right? Or 3.
Well, so we have
Gonna start it.
a breast cancer support group. We have a caregiver support group. We will be starting as soon as we find a space and time. I have a clinician set to start running a grief support group for those who have lost somebody to cancer. So by the end of the year, we'll have 4 support groups up and running.
We have Child Life Services, which is therapeutic support for children, adolescents, and parents with our certified life specialist, Kim Yoder Flood. We have Flex Yoga passes. We have Health Point day passes, and you get 1 training session a month with the Health Point trainer that is certified with cancer. We have a lending library, Amazon Fire tablets, books, resources for cancer patients and families. We have masotherapists that do 30-minute sessions a month, and they'll actually come to your home because a lot of times you're not feeling well enough to get here. If you're in active treatment, you'll get 2 a month. Reiki sessions with a Reiki master, Laura Newberry Yoakley. She'll either meet you here. We have a 1 night a month that she has open slots, or you can go to her Reiki room. We do sound and vibrational therapy, 130 session a month with sound and vibrational therapies practitioner Amy Howman. Yeah. So, and you said the support groups, and then we also have telehealth, teletherapy, right?
Telesupport with
Yeah.
medicines.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
good.
not-
Yeah. You can meet around someone else's schedule.
Well, that was a pivot on COVID.
Oh, yeah,
It's
for
actually-
sure.
Yeah.
But that was a good thing that came out of
Yeah.
COVID, actually.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of people, they're in active treatment. Like today, we had
Yeah.
a patient that was going to come, but she's sick and she can't be around other people because of the germs. You're
Yeah.
immunocompromised. So offering that telehealth or teletherapy is huge.
Has anyone ever been surprised about the services you guys offer?
People are so
Said it's free.
we
I
don't
hear that a lot.
we don't have an income threshold, so this is not income based to receive these services. It's solely if you are moving through the journey or have moved through the journey with cancer.
How has support from your board, the community, and partners like Worcester Community Hospital helped you expand?
We wouldn't be here without.
Oh, the
any-
hospital was instrumental,
hospital.
huge, instrumental. Our missions aligned. It was a perfect partnership because they serve the community. We want to serve the community. And then our board members,
Well, you go clear back to Joe Durgan and
Margo,
they were the ones that got the ball rolling, especially
they
for-
bootstrapped us.
Yeah, and especially like Margo did the 501c3. We would have never, that she fast tracked that.
She got us our
Oh my gosh.
name. And she
Yes.
just did it all.
Yeah, it was so easy compared to what most nonprofits have to go through.
Oh, yeah. Having someone that has experience with all that stuff
Yes.
helps a lot, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hitting your head against the wall trying to figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share a story of someone whose life has been touched by your guys' nonprofit?
I can't say names.
You say you can't say names, but
No.
Well, we have
Some-
one young lady currently that is fighting triple negative breast cancer and surviving, really thriving. And she has 3 little kids, and I think she's using every one of our services. And so to me, because it's current, now we have had a lot of people. I'm going to say we've served hundreds of people, but right now that really is in my heart because we talk regularly about, and then I throw out a service that might help her with whatever she's experiencing, and she's very receptive and willing to try. Be sick or travel the journey of cancer with 3 little kids. I can't imagine how she's doing, but she's doing a great job. And I'm happy that we're here to support her.
We have going clear back to almost day one. We had an older gentleman. He has since passed, but he never missed a meeting. He loved our groups, and he's not one that you would think of like that he would like it, but he did. I mean, he was probably in his late 70s.
Yeah, he was wonderful.
But he he really liked it. And his son actually even invited us to his birthday party. And I remember his son just said, this means so much to him that we have this. His son actually will still reach out to me. So I know he'll be excited to know about the grief group
Yeah.
very much.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned from listening to cancer fighters and survivors?
Well, mine's biased because then I got cancer a couple of years ago. But I will say that I learned from Whitney that you have to be your own advocate. You might, in your cancer journey, hear some things you don't agree with or you don't want to do. So that's your cue to look for someone else. And I do listen to other cancer patients, be frustrated. And I always say, well, maybe you need a second opinion. And I would say that's what I want to put forward to everybody is that always, if ever in doubt, get a second opinion.
Being your own advocate is huge, or at least having someone that can be your advocate.
And another thing I think that people don't realize, the community does really rally around. We have a special community in
We do.
Worcester, and
We do.
I felt it with Whitney, and it was amazing. But at the same time, it's kind of lonely. And that's when we say no one walks alone, because we want to put these people in the room together because they get it. You know what I mean? The caregivers, they get it. The fighters, they all have that common bond. And so that's what I would say is something that no matter how wonderful we all are, if just getting them in the room together is very important to give them strength.
Yeah, no, that's good. I think, definitely birds of a feather flock together,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
No, this question is going to be a little tough. Just forewarn you. If Whitney and Jeff could see what you've built today, what do you think they'd say?
Thanks. I think they would be very proud. Like I said, Jeff knew that something was happening. He just didn't know, to the extent he saw enough that it was going to happen, and that it was going to be wit's end, because you are literally at your wit's end. And then I asked Sandy if it was okay to spell it WHIT, and she's like, absolutely. I remember you started bawling, and then I was bawling. Yeah, I think he would be very happy.
Whitney would be happy also, but at the same time, that's not what she asked me to do. I mean, she gave me a laundry list before she got it. That's a lot of stress. Yeah, she'd be proud, absolutely, and happy that cancer patients can come together, that she really wanted to be with other people like her.
Right.
But I do know her last wish was, please tell young girls that if they don't feel something's right, they need to move on to another doctor, because Whitney had a lump for many years and was ignored because she was only in her early 20s. So I'm probably not doing as good at that as I should be, but
All of us
Right.
can learn to advocate first.
Yes.
yes,
Exactly.
she'd be happy though. She'd be happy.
Let's say we had a crystal ball in front of us and we could see Whit's End in the next 5 years. What would you want to see happen?
Some different space where we can have a space where it's all
I want a kitchen in that space. That's why we,
There you
no,
go.
seriously,
Yeah.
because nutrition is so
nutrition
important.
is important.
Yeah, and that's been one of my things, from the get go is nutrition. Because my current husband, I got remarried last May in our pool, actually,
There you go.
and because we both love to swim, we really do, and we found out this past May, so May of 24, we got married. May of 2025, we actually spent our anniversary in Cleveland Clinic because he has colon cancer also. Same doctor had to tell me for the third time. So it was crazy. I forget where I was going with that. But
Nutrition is a big
oh,
part
yes,
of it.
yes. So,
journey.
yes. So he is, my current husband has really embraced that. He really has knocked out almost all sugar, not all, but most, because he's an all or nothing guy. He won't eat just one Oreo. He'll eat half the bag. So he doesn't eat any. And he's done very, very well. He's back to exercising. He looks phenomenal. He's feeling great. His tests are great. So, but yes, nutrition is humongous.
I think I'm really excited about growing more services because we are following the path of a larger one in Cleveland, and they offer so many cool things. We'll get there, but in 5 years, we'll be there.
Let's say if someone listening wants to help or get involved, what's the first step that they can take?
Our website is wecareohio.org. If you wanted to send us $5, that would help pay these professionals. There's a PayPal donation tab at the very bottom of the front page. If you want to volunteer, give us a call. If you have a skill, like we need an accountant really bad. So give me a call. Okay.
If you're a licensed
social worker,
licensed social worker, a licensed mental health professional who
mesotherapist,
have a desire to give back to a nonprofit, and you are compensated. But if you have a desire to get involved with this mission, always looking for more clinicians so we could keep growing our groups and the services that we offer.
What advice would you give someone who wants to start their own nonprofit or support group?
I'd say don't be afraid to do it.
Well, I think that you look at your
research.
network of relationships that you currently have. And that, because that's how we got here, is relationship building, and call upon your friends. And I mean, especially in Worcester, we know they're going to help you.
Right.
There's people out there. They can call us too. But my advice is really look at your relationships you currently have that could help you move forward with your ideas.
And research what you want to do and get your ducks in a row by putting those people in place.
For sure.
This area is such a generous community that I feel that people will pull together.
Yeah, I think that it's easy to find your tribe here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. So last question here. I always like to end these on a very positive note. What is the best thing about your life right now?
Just, I think for me, especially, I'm very thankful that my current husband is doing so well. I love watching my kids that I had with Jeff thriving and doing so well. And, life is a journey, and it's just, I'm enjoying every stage and step of it.
Every single day, there's just great moments that we have to remember. When things are hard, that every day there's something to be happy on that. And also just honestly, to enjoy the people in my life that I love.
Well, I'm a grandma. I'm going to have to put that in there. I'm very
Yeah.
grateful for that. And so if you are having a down moment, they'll bring you out of that real quick. And, I have 2 other great kids, and I'm grateful for the life that I've been given. I had cancer in 23. I'm still here. So, wake up grateful that you woke up.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Cool. Well, thank you all for being on the show today. If anyone needs any additional contact information, you're welcome to reach out to myself, Seth Screamo, at 330-22